This is the Three Gorges Dam, the largest hydroelectric power station ever built. Located on China's Yangtze River, this engineering marvel transformed the world's third longest river into one of the most powerful sources of clean energy. But building something this enormous was one of the greatest engineering challenges in human history. Before a single block of concrete could be placed, engineers had to understand every detail of the Yangtze River. They spent years surveying the landscape, studying the river's powerful current, the surrounding mountains, and the strength of the bedrock beneath. Every measurement had to be precise because even the smallest mistake could affect one of the largest engineering projects ever attempted. Only after careful planning could construction finally begin. Before construction could move forward, engineers faced their first major challenge, the Yangtze River itself. The powerful current had to be diverted away from the construction zone, creating a safe and controlled area where the massive dam could eventually rise. With the river under control, engineers could finally begin excavating the foundation. Massive machines tore through layers of rock, reaching deep into the earth to create a solid base strong enough to support the enormous dam. Once the excavation reached solid bedrock, engineers had to prepare the foundation for the enormous structure above. The exposed rock was cleaned, reinforced, and carefully inspected, creating a stable base for the dam to rise. With the foundation ready, the real construction could finally begin. Massive amounts of concrete were poured layer by layer, slowly transforming the solid foundation into the enormous structure of the dam. As the concrete layers continued to rise, the massive dam wall began taking shape. Section by section, the structure grew higher, transforming the once empty construction site into an enormous concrete barrier across the Yangtze River. But holding back the Yangtze required more than a massive wall. Engineers also built enormous spillways and control gates to safely release excess water and protect the dam from extreme floods. With the dam structure complete, the next challenge was turning the power of the river into electricity. Inside the powerhouse, massive turbines were carefully lowered into position, each one designed to convert the moving water into mechanical energy. But the turbines were only half the system. Above them, massive generators had to be installed and precisely connected to the turbine shafts, ready to transform mechanical motion into electrical power. With the turbines and generators in place, the final transformation began. Water behind the dam slowly filled the massive reservoir, creating the enormous head of water needed to drive the turbines and generate power. As water rushed through the dam, it spun the massive turbines below. Their rotation drove the generators, converting the river's immense hydraulic energy into electricity for millions of people. When construction was finally complete, the Three Gorges Dam became far more than a massive concrete structure. It became a giant power station, supplying electricity across large parts of China while helping manage the powerful flow of the Yangtze River. Beyond electricity, the project also changed the landscape around the Yangtze. The enormous reservoir stretched deep into the surrounding mountains, creating one of the largest engineered water systems ever built. One of the project's most important roles is flood control. During periods of heavy rainfall, the reservoir can store enormous volumes of water, helping reduce the pressure on downstream communities along the Yangtze. But generating electricity was only part of the challenge.
All connections look normal.
That power also had to travel hundreds of kilometers through a massive transmission network, connecting the dam to cities, industries, and millions of homes. From a single river, an enormous chain of engineering now connects water, turbines, generators, transmission lines, and the lives of millions of people. What once seemed almost impossible had become a functioning reality, a structure built to control one of the world's most powerful rivers and harness its energy on an extraordinary scale. Decades of planning, construction, and engineering ultimately transformed the Yangtze into a source of power on an unprecedented scale. The Three Gorges Dam is more than a dam. It is a story of ambition, precision, and human engineering on a scale rarely seen before. This is the story of the Three Gorges Dam, where one river became a symbol of engineering on an extraordinary scale. For more incredible engineering stories like this, subscribe to World Analysis.